morning, afternoon, evening. Basically, my green stock is supposed to arrive tomorrow, and I have some houseplant chores that I know I need to get done before that arrives, because then I'm just going to be focused on the outdoor plants for probably a good while after that. So let's play catch up before it's too late and do what needs to be done with the houseplants. Okay, so I've got my coffee here, and it says Cac's jar. That's like my nickname with my family is Cac. My dad had this like custom made for me when I was in like high school, I believe, but I found it recently and got it back out. And it's really nice. The mason jar lid actually fits on it. It's not like a branded jar or anything. It's just for like drinks. But I thought that was cute, so I could use it as like a to-go cup or something too if I want to. Anyway, plant stuff. So this was my birthday jade that I got myself. She's girthy, she's beautiful, she's lovely, she's doing great. But after I potted her in here, I noticed this soil does not dry out very well or quickly by any means. It's very woody. It's a lot of like wood chips, which I didn't know when I bought the big bag of potting soil, unfortunately. But that's what I've got right now. And it's also like a plastic pot, and I find succulents just do a lot better in like terracotta typically. It's kind of the only thing I like to use terracotta pots for, is my succulents. And so here I've got some more of that potting soil that I got from the bag on the porch. I'm gonna mix like a buttload of perlite into that, and hopefully that'll allow it to just drain a little better and be more airy and dry out a little quicker. So I think that'll be better for the jade in the long run. I like just repotted it. I got it like April 6th. It's kind of mid-May right now. So like it just got put into this pot a month ago, but I would rather just do it now and get it done than potentially deal with it starting to rot or something like that. But I have this old purple, it's terracotta, like unsealed on the inside, and on the outside it's just painted obviously. I think I got this. My grandma lives on like, she used to have a farm when her husband was alive and stuff. And this was just in one of the various like old abandoned sheds like on their land. And she let me take like a bunch of random pots. Again, years ago, I was probably like middle school or high school. So I've got this, it's got like some old roots that are kind of just attached to the side. But it's cute. I thought it would be cute for him. And then like sometimes jades will get kind of like a red tinge, red orangey tinge on the edges of the leaves. Here's a good example on this bigger leaf. It's also really dark. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if that's showing up well at all, but I think that'll just kind of look nice against the purple and it'll contrast well. So that's project number 1. And number 2, I have taken, let's see. So I have my big pothos up here that is doing great because it's also in terracotta, even though it's not a succulent. There it is. That's my big pothos in my kitchen that trails across everything. I had another one up over here that came like over where you're sitting right now. And all of the leaves just started like curling up and yellowing, and not in like a needs water way, but in like an overwatered way. Because you know, normally if they're yellowing but they need water, they'll get dry, they'll get crispy. You'll be able to tell that they're dry. But these were definitely overwatered, which is my bad, but also they have been in this box planter in this same plastic liner since, it was a gift when my dad passed away in 2020. So they've either been in this since December of 2020 or January of 2021. They've been getting the Miracle Grow that I give to all my houseplants, but nothing else. And I think one time I just watered it prematurely before it had dried out, and they had had enough. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm not gonna like prune all the leaves and let the end of the vines just be there, but all these bald spots, I didn't want to deal with the look of that. And so I chopped it all up, and let me show you the little propagation station. But yeah, so I use my fish tank to propagate a lot of cuttings. But they were all starting to do this and get yellow and gross, and I was like, we're gonna call it where it is, and you know, I'd rather deal with it now and get cuttings that are good, rather than play catch up later. So I've got some in like a shot glass, some are just stem cuttings, so I'm hoping the nodes will root in some water down here in a bag for humidity, and in the container in the bag. This, I think it was called like baby rubber plant or something, but it was in the same like square box planter. So I cut those up as well. They were really long and leggy, and just they also weren't thriving in there. Some of them I left really long. Some of them are only like a couple nodes long and just like some leaves on the end, like this shorter guy here. But yeah, I'm just kind of seeing what takes off, and then I would love to get, you know, a better, bigger pot than what we're working with right here, so that they can all thrive again and I can get like a big vining pothos, because I want it to do that when we move. You know, I want it to be like set up and ready to go in our new place wherever we end up moving. So yeah. Okay, and then last but certainly not least is this chunky boy. So this is an Anthurium. I think some people call it like a flamingo lily or whatever. I think it's my only Anthurium, but this is the one that me and my husband got on our honeymoon when we got married last April of 2024. So we've had this for just over a year now. I love this plant so much. I love the blooms. I love the leaf shape. I like the bright red pop, because I don't really have any plants that are super like reddy like that. And I think they're just super unique and interesting. I know it's really common, but like I love it a lot, and then, you know, obviously we got it after our wedding, so it's special. But it has been living in this tiny little like 5x6 nursery pot for over a year now, and it definitely could use an upgrade. So I got, put her back here. I got this big honkin' boy. I ordered it online for pickup, so I didn't realize quite how big it was. It's like 10 inches tall, and I think 10 across too, honestly. But it's like ceramic, but like sealed, so it won't dry out like we were talking about with the succulents. It's got this drainage hole in the bottom, and I can pull out like that this little like silicone stopper in here. So if I want to water it, for water to run through the bottom, I can take it out, water it, let all the excess water run out, and then I can plug it back up, so I don't have to worry about it on furniture. Which I really like, because I hate the look of the plastic saucers everywhere. I have them where I need them just because I'd rather suffer aesthetically than like ruin all of my wooden furniture. But yeah, and then it's got this little like faux wood base thing. I think it's Better Home & Gardens brand, but I got it from Walmart. It was surprisingly cheap for how big it is. I don't even think it was 20 bucks, it was less than that. I'm pretty sure. Ugh. Better Home & Gardens planter, Channing collection. Oh my god, it's so sticky. Focus. Channing collection, 10.2 inch. Yeah, I don't remember any of the other details, but if you look on their website you could find it if you like it. And then it's got this little like woven baskety kind of texture, but it's very, or kind of bricky, honestly. But it's very like subdued from far away. And I just think that kind of the deep green foliage and the bright red blossoms would look great in a black pot. So we're gonna repot her as well. Because yeah, a lot of my houseplants need uppotted and repotted, but since this is one tied to, you know, literally our wedding, I would like to take care of it, you know, more importantly. It's always a little higher on the priority list when it needs some extra care. So let's do that. I've got a bucket of dirt. I've got a bag of perlite over there. Yeah, let's get mixing. So here you can see what I'm doing a little better. This just my big bag of perlite that I got from the Buy Mart, because tiny town things. I'm gonna do some of my charcoal in there too. I just like to put that in all of my soil mixes. And we've got this, and I took off my sweater because, like I said, this is very wood chippy, and I don't want the sleeves or any part of the sweater to get a bunch of wood chips stuck to it, because it's like a woolen knit thing, so that would be awful to clean. Then we're doing this in my kitchen because I cannot stand the lighting over on the dining table. Even though I'd have more space, it would just be very yellow and not look as good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start dumping some of this in. This is probably like a 3-gallon bucket. And I had it most of the way full of that woody potting mix. Some charcoal. Not as much, just a little bit. I'm just gonna go in with my little garden shovel and turn a bunch over. I don't have any sand at the moment, otherwise I would definitely add sand for a succulent mix as well. And like rocks or leca if I had any of that. I used to, I think I said in a previous video, I used to make like all of my own potting blends for my houseplants. I had like an arid mix for succulents and stuff, and then I had more of like a rainforesty mix was what I called it, but it held water more. But it had more like peat mosses and stuff like that. But I recently learned that I think peat moss can actually become hydrophobic pretty easily, which is not something that we want. So I might not use that again in the future. I don't know what I would use instead. If you guys know what else to use that is kind of mossy but doesn't become hydrophobic, then please tell. Please share your secrets. Okay. Just trying to get to the very bottom. We're just about there though. There we go. That's already just so much fluffier and lighter and gonna do wonders for our little jade. So what I'm gonna do, because this guy, let me go see if I have a saucer real quick to put under it. I don't think I do though. So I have this terracotta saucer, which, I don't know, kind of defeats the purpose of the saucers for me. Because like if it is holding water, the water is going to disperse throughout all of the terracotta and still get your furniture wet. But I think for now, just for potting, it'll serve our purposes because I don't want a bunch of dirt just falling out of that big hole in the bottom. So we'll set her in there, move our jade over, and just start filling a little bit just to get a base layer. And then I'm gonna look up a little bit before I blend the Anthurium mix and see if there's really anything special that they need or require with their soil, because I'm really not sure. I've kind of just been taking care of it the same way I would like my monsteras or my croton, really like any other rainforesty type plant, I guess. Let me go get a bin to do this over. Okay, so these are the bins I used to keep my soil in, my mixes. As you can see, they're empty. I use them for like bottom watering a lot of my houseplants now. But we are going to just pop her out, and I haven't watered her in a while. Perfect, because I was hoping that this would be nice and easy and less messy, where if it was like, you know, compared to if it was muddy in there. Okay. just popped a leaf off. We will propagate that, no problem. It's always kind of my thing with succulents too, is like, they're pretty hardy, but when they do fall apart, you can usually get something out of it. And still, you know, grow a new plant or whatever. Trying to be gentle. The soil's not really wanting to come off too easily. There we go. Tiny circles. Just kind of rubbing my hand around it in tiny circles. And patting it and letting bits fall away as they wish. I'm hoping it does a lot better in the new terracotta pot. And then the nice thing about that is this pot is basically new still, because I bought it just for the jade, but it's just straight plastic, but I will have that for something else. Maybe I'll put like some of the, goodness, as I break everything, maybe I'll put some of like these baby rubber plant cuttings in there if they decide to root and be nice for me. Again, I'll have to research them and see where they're from and what kind of soil they like and drainage and stuff. Yeah, this definitely had a lot more perlite in its original soil mix than what I put it into, so that was just completely my bad. I also just didn't have any perlite lying around when I potted this and got this, so, you know, if I did, I would have done this from the get-go, but here we are. And realistically, I should have just left it in its nursery pot and waited to up pot it until I had everything. And maybe just bought in the terracotta pot from the get-go too. But you know, we're learning. And I'm never gonna complain about little plant chores like this. Okay, I'm gonna put a little more soil. I'm just gonna use some of the old stuff just to build up a little more height in the pot here. This is what we're working with. Okay. Move this bin out of the way. There we go. Try not to spill soil all over my kitchen. There we go. And then this is going to be kind of tricky to backfill around because it comes up. Can you see that okay? Tilt you down a little more. Oh, you can't go down anymore. That's why. Love that. There we go. That's way better. Okay. So now this is our mix full of perlite and some charcoal. House made. Oh, I already know I'm gonna get soil everywhere. No matter how much I try to prevent the mess. I can tell I'm gonna lose patience after like one round of doing this carefully. I'm just gonna start slinging dirt. I think I'm just gonna go around it in circles so that I don't end up, you know, filling up one side and then it's like tipping a certain way. Obviously it's gonna grow however it wants, and if it ends up tilting a certain way, that's fine, but I don't want to put it in there looking janky from the get-go. I can just tell this soil is so much lighter. It's gonna do so much better in here. I was so worried that after I watered it, like literally the first time in that pot, in that first pot, I was so worried it was just gonna rot and die on me immediately. I was like, no, not my birthday plant. Okay, I think we're about done with her. This was her leaf that broke off. And are you supposed to like wait for these to callus before you plop them in dirt? But I just won't water it right away, and I'm just gonna set it right in here with her mama. And just lightly bury that end. But yeah, there we go. And then if this leaf doesn't, this is a little propagation leaf down here. Sorry, it's so dark. You know, that'd be a cute little area to put like some twigs or some seashells or driftwood or something cute. Just because it's kind of a little bare spot on the side. But here she is. Okay, so we are going to pull her out. Set her back here. And then there's a couple stickers in the pot that I'm going to try to get off. I really just care about the part up top that would be like sticking up over the dirt. Sorry, you can't even see it. Naturally not the part I wanted to come off wood. There we go. I think it's like a little theft sticker. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. And there's one at the bottom here. I really like the wooden base on this, or the fake wooden looking base on here. It's just so cute. And I like that it breaks up the black a little bit. There we go, easy peasy. Okay, now I'm going to grab my phone and quickly look up what kind of soil anthuriums need. Okay, so, hello. I'm finding that, yeah, I just like really well draining soil. I mean, most things do. Slightly acidic, which I'm not gonna worry about. Yeah, just avoid compact soil, make sure it drains well. Cool, so basically the exact same as what we just did for the jade plant. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. I'm going to take, this is what I had in the jade plant, see how there's like barely any perlite. And I'm gonna mix that into our bucket right here. On my right. Sorry, something just fell over there. It's got a tiny little drainage hole. Oh my goodness. That's very stuck in there. I'm glad we uppotted that jade because that soil was pretty impenetrable. Down, down, down. Come out. Yes, yes, yes. Come, come, come. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy that potting mix ever again. It was like a brand I'd never heard of, but it was pretty cheap. So that's what I used. I think I got it for seed starting, but it was a massive bag, so like more than I would have used for just seed starting, so I should have known. I don't know. I should have gotten something better since I was getting such a large quantity, but it was cheap and that was kind of what I was going for at the time. It was just affordable. And I was kind of planning on adding amendments to it anyway, like the worm castings and charcoal and perlite and all that jazz, so not a total loss. It's good for bulking up all of this. Okay. You're still not really tilted in a good way, are you? So then I'll drop you down again. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I'll add the rest of this too. This was the extra soil that came out of the jade pot was in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and add that so nothing goes to waste because it's still perfectly good soil. It just needed a little love. And then both for the jade and the anthurium, I'm gonna go ahead and wait a few days before I like water them in. think. If they look thirsty, then I'll go ahead and water them. But tell me how dark this is. It's got some moisture in it. It's not soggy by any means, but it's good. I also really like when you squish it, it kind of falls apart, but it holds, like the center mass holds structure, but it also, the big chunks kind of fall away. It just feels very like fluffy and light. And that charcoal in there definitely helps too. Also, this is a doll's house, my other moon cat color I got. It's definitely not my color. It's too close to my skin tone, I think, since I have such pink tones, like undertones. I like the green a lot better, but it's wearing well, it's cute. I think it's just not for me, so I might give that to my sister or something. She's a little more warm undertoned than me, like everyone in my family apparently. Anyway, back to the plants. And this one, it's got the silicone plug in the bottom, so I'm not worried about the dirt falling through. Okay, stop right there. Have a sip of coffee. Also, super exciting, come all the way down here. My town's first farmer's market is this Saturday, May 24th, and I'm so excited. I'm so jazzed. I just can't wait for like actual fresh produce, and there's a new like refillery coming to our town. Like the shop hasn't opened yet, like the brick and mortar store, but she's got like booths that she's setting up at all the little local markets and things. You can like refill your you know, like shampoo, body soaps, household cleaners, like a bunch of stuff like that, into refillable containers instead of like single-use plastics, you know? So I'm excited to check that out. And we have a lot of local like ranches, and like really good places to get meat from that are locally raised and, you know, just actually responsible. And like just places run by people who actually value the earth, which is nice whenever you can find that. But yeah, you can see her roots around here. Like she definitely need a new pot. They're not so bad to where it was like thick ones down running around the bottom in circles, but she would have been at that point soon. And a lot of these are thick, so I think she's gonna really enjoy having more room to spread out. I know I'm flicking some of the dirt off, but I'm just doing it right into the pot it's going into. Again, it's just gonna help bulk it up. And I think I heard my sister actually, so when I went and saw her for her birthday last weekend, I was helping her like move some seedlings outside, because her rule is she always moves them out after Mother's Day, which is cute. And it was literally Mother's Day, so we were moving everything out and up-potting and stuff. And her rule is that she always puts the old soil into their new pot. She said they need a little bit of home, like they'll transplant better. She was talking about like garden plants like outside, but I feel like that could apply to house plants as well. There we go, we're getting that center out now. You can see the roots all a lot better. Everyone's looking good. That is such a good smell. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but just like good wet dirt and healthy roots and just smell of plant. I don't know. I feel that way about my... Oh, I had a question that I meant to Google. I wanted to know if I could split these, because it kind of looks, you know, like here's one, this big one in the center, and then like a little... Let's see if I can split it there. But and then another one off to like the side over here. Like it kind of looks like there's three main plants. So I was curious how to go about splitting those. carefully. I don't know. Or if I should just leave the whole thing and keep it big and bushy. Or if it would grow back in anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I just really like this plant, so I was like, if it's already trying to split for me, why not take advantage of that and have two? I also have a corn plant over on a different place in my house, and it needs to be uppotted. It's still in a nursery pot and has been for almost 3 years now, probably. Don't hate me. I'm just always excited about the plants. I don't really get excited about pots, so I don't have like a backlog of pots just ready to be used. But I was thinking about doing that one because it's just so tall. It's just a single stalk and it's all, you know, leafy, but just all straight up. And so I was thinking I might repot that into kind of like a pot with a bigger diameter like this, have the corn plant like off-centered, and then fill in around it with like some pothos or just something else that's kind of lower growing, so it doesn't, I don't know. I don't really want just like a tall single vertical thing. I feel like that doesn't look super cute. Does this want to split for me? I'm not gonna force it if it won't go, but like it looks like it wants to. I think it's just the roots are gonna be entwined down in here, and that is what scares me. Or the other side. Honestly, this one off to like the right is the biggest, and so I think this is the main plant. The middle is probably like the secondary plant, and then the left over here is probably the newest. This is tricky. I don't want to break any of like the large roots. The nails are actually kind of helpful for this because I can poke around really easily. Okay, we got her. She's coming. She's coming. Okay. Now it's literally just the roots. There we go! Okay, look, a baby. No blooms, just leaves on this little guy. Cute. Okay, set her off to the side. Finish potting up this gal. I'm so excited. I hope it really just takes off in here because it's, I would say, more than double the amount of space that it had. I'm not even gonna mess with the shovel. I'm just gonna, sorry you can't see anything. I'm just gonna dump in with the bucket, at least for this first bit. That's just bulk, and then I might go in with a little shovel at the end for, you know, the detailed filling. Sorry, I'm sure your view is super great, but it is what it is. I'm gonna try not to bury these leaves, these little tiny ones at the base. Oh, it looks so much better already. I'm so happy. That's the thing too, is like a lot of my plants have, you know, a lot of them are tied to like an event or a person or something I did, so I feel bad when I neglect them. Like this one is tied to like our wedding, and we just had our 1 year anniversary, and I was like, there's no way. It's been a year and that plant is still in its nursery pot that we bought it in, you know, so I was like, I need to show that I care by taking care of the plant. And then like my corn plant I was just talking about, I bought that for myself when my husband didn't move into this apartment with me because he had a job somewhere else at the time. And so I bought the corn plant for myself when I moved in here because it was like my first place and only place that I've ever lived completely alone and like moved into alone, like no roommates or anything. So that was exciting for me. even though, you know, I still had my boyfriend. He was my fiance at the time. But it was just my space, and that was very exciting. Okay, so we've run the bucket dry. Spread around what we've got up here. And then these two, as I water them in, I'm sure I'll need to top the soil off. Just as it kind of, because you know, it's light and airy with the perlite, but it's still gonna compact a bit once it does start getting watered. So I'll just keep an eye on that and top off the soil as needed. The crackly bit is just these little dried brown bits down in here. But yeah, she looks really good. Oh, she's heavy now, that's for sure. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna find something to stick this little lady in. Quick little garden peek. These cucumbers, everything's just doing really good. I'm going to harvest these little guys. It's literally, what, maybe 6 green beans ready to go. So not really enough for a meal or anything, but should hopefully be yummy. These tomatoes are doing so good. These are the new bigger blossoms on the snap peas. We've got more little peas coming in down here. Nasturtiums. Strawberries are working away too. Yeah, everything's looking really good. It's been really gloomy all week. Like highs of 60, gloomy. This is the soil that I was using. I think the brand was, yeah, Super Soil. I personally will not be buying it again. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. This is what I've got for the green stock when it comes. That's compost. And then I've got Greenery, like organic potting mix back there. It was actually on sale, which is nice because I feel like Miracle-Gro is usually really expensive. Okay, so then back here for our baby Anthurium that we broke off. I've got basically just the exact same mix. It's that Super Soil, more charcoal, and more perlite. Sorry, that sound probably wasn't very nice for you. Maybe it was, who knows? If you guys would be interested in like planty, just like ASMR videos, let me know. Just like soil mixing and watering and like cleaning the leaves and stuff. I feel like those could be kind of fun to shoot. Breaking up all the big chunks. Oh, and then I decided I'm just gonna use this nursery pot that the big mama was in. Because if she was growing fine in here, then the little guy will too. That's my thought. And I don't really ever throw away nursery pots because I'm always propagating or potting something or splitting something or whatever the case may be. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of hold her upright for a minute. Fill in around. I am so excited for, so obviously we're moving into like our in-laws house this summer, or my in-laws house this summer, my husband's parents, just kind of temporarily because we're moving back to our hometown. Right now we live in the town where we went to college. We graduated in 2021. It was COVID. And so we moved back home and then moved back here because I got a job at the university. And we've just kind of been here ever since January of like 2022, I believe, was when I moved here. And like that was when I got myself the corn plant that we were talking about. But we've been here ever since, and right now I don't work. I do rover and yes, Daisy? My goodness. I do rover, so like I walk dogs and stuff, and I, you know, take care of the home because all of that makes me happy. And I feel like that matters a lot more than doing a job for somebody else and having to deal with a crappy boss and all of that. But anywho, my husband does firefighting, and he's been volunteering at the local department here for over 2 years now. And they recently hired just a handful of guys because they're a small department, so they don't hire big classes or anything. And he wasn't picked for them. They picked a bunch of like older guys with way more experience, which is whatever. But yeah, he's gonna have a lot more opportunity for firefighting back in our hometown, so that's why we're moving back there. Here she is, looking ready to take off. I think this is her newest leaf for sure, so she's putting on some size compared to like down here, which is very nice. This leaf's kind of, it feels fine and firm and everything. It's just kind of off to the side. Okay. But yeah, look at her go. I'm just gonna dump that back in here. And just kind of have a good little potting mix ready to go if I need to do something else. I just wanted to catch this real quick. I was just sitting at my desk and noticed these little deer down here in the swampy area. There's 3 of them. Oh, but why was I talking about moving? Plants? I don't remember. I think what I was trying to say was just that I'm excited to like, I want to work a little more to like style my plants in the place where we live. Because for a while now, honestly ever since I've lived in here, I've kind of just been throwing them where there's light, because there's the screen door and our big living room window, and it's really just this half of the apartment that gets any sunlight. And I haven't really chosen to budget for like nice grow lights or anything so that I could style them in other places. But yeah, so I don't know, I'm just looking forward to that when we move. And just making a space more mine, because I'm not good at that when it's rentals. But let me go ahead and show you everybody that we did. Got our cute little mama. I mean, she's still like a decent size. She's like small, medium, I'd say. But she's cute. I can't wait to see her grow. And then we've got Birthday Jade. Her purple pot with her little terracotta catch tray. I think she'll do a lot better in here and live a lot more the desert life that she will thrive in with the terracotta. And then last, but certainly not least, is our big mama Anthurium, which is now just 2 of the 3 like big nodes that it had. It's a little wobbly in the center, so I think I might add some more of that soil and just kind of mound it around the center stalk, because she's a little wobbly. Obviously she'll root in and that'll go away with time and everything, but she's big now, which I'm happy about. I want her to have room to grow. But yeah, thanks for tagging along. Maybe this is hopefully kind of short. Yeah, we'll have to stay tuned and see what I end up doing with all of the pothos cuttings that are taking over my fish tank right now. I'm totally out of focus. Whatever. You don't want to see me anyway. But yeah, we'll have to see what we do with that and that little rubber plant thing. Is there anything else crazy happening? I don't think so. But yeah, the green stalk is coming tomorrow when I'm filming this. I think I'll already have it by the time you see this. But yeah, green stalk is coming. Very excited about that. And the farmer's market is coming up this weekend. Maybe I'll film that and do a little vloggy thing. I always like want to film more vloggy content, but I don't know if you guys like that, or if it's boring, or if I just need to like only film when I'm actually doing not boring things. I don't know if you like the vloggy stuff in the comments, like tell me, or if there's stuff that you like would specifically want me to vlog and not some other stuff. I don't know. I'm just a girl. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Exciting things are coming. Greenstock, farmers markets, potential trip to Florida in July. Out of nowhere, not paid for by me. The garden's doing really good. Moving is coming up. A lot of stuff. So stay tuned. Thanks for being here. Go buy a plant or something. Yeah. I'll be a bad influence. Go buy more plants. You need them. You have the space and the money and you need them. Have a good day.